this is Grodno. We are very slow to introduce quarantine, so protect yourself, and we will help you in this in the form of a game. It is said that the love of a city is due to the feelings that you had to experience in it, and not the city itself. Each of them has its own history and legends, but Grodno is a city that evokes pleasant feelings and emotions from beautiful views, ancient buildings, and wonderful people.
The Lutheran Church is the only Protestant church in Grodno that is currently operating. It was erected at the expense of wealthy German community in the middle of the 19th century. After the majority of Germans left Grodno following the results of two world wars, the church was desolate until the authorities adapted it for storage. In 1995, the building was transferred to the revived Lutheran community. The Lutheran Church itself is a neo-Gothic architecture monument. The church is included in the state list of historical and cultural values of the Republic of Belarus, and you are welcome to see it. Park named after Jean-Emmanuel Gilbert is located in the center of Grodno. Today the park has changed significantly. It's very different from its first option, but the park doesn't cease to be so amazing. It impresses people not only with its size, but also with green alleys. A delightful piece of land contains arbors, benches, waterfalls and ducks. Everything possible has been done for the convenience of visitors.
Desliga esse computador agora! 1, 2, 3!
In the warm season, several cafes, a summer amphitheater and attractions begin to work in the park.
Another major attraction is the Grodno Orthodox Cathedral. The building was erected in 1910. Orthodox Church of the beginning of the 20th century, built in retrospective Russian style by Prozorov. The cathedral was dedicated to the memory of those who died in the Battle of Tsushima and the Battle of Port Arthur. Unlike other religious institutions, it worked continuously during the German occupation and during the persecution of religion in the Soviet period. In the 2000s, on the eve of the 100th anniversary, the complex was completely restored. Now it is an important monument of architecture and culture.
In many cities, there are streets that are called local Abbot. Grodno is no exception. Here the local Abbot is Sovetskaya Street.
The roof of the world is the largest observation deck in Belarus. In the summer there is a cafe, in winter there is a skater roof. The high roof offers scenic views of the historic center of Grodno. Farm and Bernardine churches, a fire tower, a TV tower on the roof of houses. All streets create an amazing picture. You can stand on the observation platform of the roof as long as you want for free, but if you want to sit down, the waiter will come to you because the seats belong to the cafe. The menu of the cafe, which is also translated in English by the way, is on the bar. Lots of alcoholic beverages, non-alcoholic drinks, cocktails, smoothies, and coffee. They also offer some desserts like croissant or a piece of cake, so if you want one, just go to the window and choose. There are suspended chairs on the roof of the wall. They are convenient to climb with the feet and sip a cocktail, but it's not very mannered to stick a dessert on a fork and chew it for a long time in such a cocoon, so keep it in mind.
This is a very beautiful, cozy and romantic street with shops, restaurants and coffee houses. Here everyone will find something pleasant and useful for themselves. It is wonderful that in Grodno there is such a quiet pedestrian street on which vehicles don't drive. It is pleasant to walk along it, listen to live music in Grodno musicians, and enjoy the moment.
The Catholic Cathedral of St. Francis Xavier in Grodno is one of the most famous, outstanding and richly decorated churches in Belarus. This Catholic church was built from 1678 to 1703 and was solemnly consecrated in 1705. The main facade of the temple is decorated with two majestic graceful towers, which were erected from 1750 to 1752. Unofficially, this temple is also called Farny Church, which means simply the main church. It really is the main Catholic church. It means cathedral for the whole city of Grodno and the Grodno region.
Another major attraction of Grodno is the old Grodno castle. This castle wasn't preserved, and from it remained only ruins.
Here we go again.
The first stone fortifications were erected on the site of the castle in the 12th century. After that, the castle repeatedly destroyed, rebuilt and reconstructed. Recent significant changes in his appearance were made in the 19th century. The castle and the city are connected by a stone arch bridge, built to replace the wooden in the second half of the 17th century. There is a new castle in the city, which is now also an important attraction of Grodno. New castle was built directly next to the old castle in 1742. This castle was substantially rebuilt in Soviet times. Although this structure is called the castle, special defensive functions it has never fulfilled. In general, it was a palace, the royal palace. There are museums in both castles.
The Catholic Church of the Discovery of the Holy Cross and the Bernardine Monastery in Grodno is one of the most significant Asian architectural complexes of the city and one of the most recognizable symbols of Grodno. The complex of buildings of the Bernardine Monastery, picturesquely located on a hill above the banks of the Neman, is one of the architectural dominants of the historical center of Grodno, which adorns and shapes the panorama of entire city. Bernardine Monastery was founded in Grodno in the 1490s. Today, it's the oldest Catholic church in Grodno. The interior of the church is decorated with 12 ancient stone side altars, as well as a three-tier central altar of the 18th century.
The first plays began to be performed in Grodno since the end of the 18th century. They were performed in a theater which belonged to the mayor to the girls. I should say the Grodno Regional Drama Theater was considered to be one of the most incredible and fantastic buildings of the USSR. The interior has a beneficial impact on actors and employees as well as visitors. Decorative lantern stairs, illuminated foyer improve mood even in bad weather. The location of lamps creates a special visual, spatial plastic, so the interior of the rooms presents a sort of the theater in theater. You can see through windows a magnificent panorama of the city. In addition, near the entrance, there is a three-figure composition called Pegasus, made by sculptor Zilber. The territory near the theater became one of the most popular recreation areas. Here you can enjoy the views of the Neman and spending time outdoors.
It's time to finish our game. Bye! No, it's not a Dragon City. Damn it!